트랩, 조성호, 인노베이션, 이신영. 아프리카 TV 브레이크업 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 코드 S 쇼다운.
All right, everybody slow down. That was too fast. Deer versus Cure in under an hour. Cure clearly deserving to move on to the round of 4. Hell, man, maybe even the finals. Maybe even becoming a champion of Season 1. He looked incredibly strong.
Maybe, yeah.
And so we've got 3 of the 4 players.
Break it down.
Break it down.
Yeah, yeah. This last match, we're going to get someone through that's supposed to go through. You know, Trap
Right.
and INnoVation, these are 2 people that like you want to see in the top 4. They're definitely amongst the best in the world at all times.
Go ahead, Andy.
Players before getting into the second match. First of all, Trap. And Trap, it seems like you have no slump. This is your round of fate 4 consecutive times. How are you feeling today?
오늘 아무래도
Well, today,
일찍 경기하는 거 보니까 잠을 많이 못 자긴 했는데
I didn't get enough sleep,
모르겠어요. 게임을 해봐야 할 것 같아요.
but I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have to dive into the game first.
지금 조성주, 강영우,
And Maru, Dark, all the best player of each race has been eliminated.
이런 분위기 좀 어떻게 보고
So how do you think
있어요?
this atmosphere is working out?
이변이
I mean, there are definitely a lot of upsets, I can tell.
개인적으로는
But personally,
오늘 이긴 사람이 우승할 것 같아요.
I think the person who wins today is gonna take the trophy.
이신영 선수.
All right, INnoVation.
자, 지금 전승으로 24강부터
You haven't dropped a single game so far coming here to the round of 8. How are you feeling today? Well, my preparation has been quite adequate. I'm gonna leave it to luck
오늘
today.
이긴 사람이 우승도 할 것 같다는
And
상대방의
Trap
발언
just mentioned that
이해해
whoever wins today is gonna lift us a trophy. What do you think?
모르겠어요. 근데
I'm not too sure about that.
상황도 어려울 것 같고.
I think the round of 4 is going to be really hard.
어려울 것 같아요.
And as for the finals, it's going to be hard as well. So I'm gonna play comfortably.
사실 오늘 경기 앞두고 굉장한 자신감을
Ahead of today's match, INnoVation, you boasted
조성호 선수 요즘 너무
a big confidence.
좋은데
You said that Trap
그냥
is
계속
playing terribly these days, and you're gonna
굉장한
just
자신감이
smash him.
느껴졌는데요. 그런데 따지고 보면
But
두
Trap,
선수의 이 최근 전적을 따지고 보면
Statistically speaking,
뭐
in the recent
상대방의
matches,
이런
Trap, you are
좀
far
불편하셨을
ahead in
것
terms of
같거든요.
wins. So I'm pretty sure you felt quite
그냥
uncomfortable by this.
신영 형이랑은 워낙 어렸을 때부터 알던
I mean, I used to know INnoVation from when I was little. I think he looks at me as a little boy.
그러니까요. 예전에 어릴 때 그
Yes,
생활
in the
같이
past,
할 때를 생각하고
When you guys were in the
있는데
same house, that used to be the case.
조성호 선수에게 신인이라고도 하시고
And last year, you
이번에도
mentioned
그냥
Trap as a
이렇게
newcomer to the
왜
scene.
자꾸 조성호 선수를 쉽게
So why is
보시나요?
it that you regard Trap like this?
아무래도 뭔가 옛날 연습생 시절
Well, like
같이 하고
back in the past, when he used to be a trainee, we used to be together,
신인 같은 이미지.
and his image is kind of like a newcomer to the scene.
잘하죠, 성우.
I mean, he is a stellar player. I think he's the best Protoss player.
좀 진심이 느껴지시나요?
Did you feel his honesty? No, not at all.
두 선수의 관계를 오늘 경기에서 좀 정리를 할 필요성이
Okay, so
느껴집니다.
we need to talk about the relationship
경기에
between the
앞서서
two.
두 선수 서로에게 한마디씩
So before the
나눠볼까요?
match,
자, 조성호 선수.
would you guys like to say anything to each other?
그냥
Trap first?
재밌는 게임 했으면 좋겠어요.
I just want to have an exciting match.
게임을 하면 그냥 재밌더라고요.
It's always fun
네,
playing against INnoVation.
게임 해보자 이야기하시는데요.
Alright, as for you, INnoVation,
빨리 3대 0으로 끝나죠.
I just want to smash him 3-0.
3대0으로 재밌게 끝내주실 생각인 것 같습니다. 자, 두 선수 예전부터 친하기도
And the
하고
two players who have a long history between themselves.
과연 4강에 올라갈
Let's see who's the last one locking in the round of 4 spot in this season of the GSL.
시작하겠습니다.
Thanks, Andy. Okay, this is, I think, a match everybody can be excited about. And I'm happy with either one of these guys moving on. They're both so strong. Offline match history 7-7, so as even as possible.
And look at this. Their win rates are the highest of their race against the other race for 2020. 75% wins PVT for Trap, but INnoVation at 84.6%, which is just, that's inhuman.
That's insane, man.
That literally can't stay like that.
No.
That's like higher win rate than anyone ever has in anything, ever.
That's so crazy.
And we're like towards the end of May, so we're almost halfway through the year, and his win rate for this year is still 84.6%.
Yeah, although we did start late, we still got many more games to come, but I
yeah, that's true.
can't imagine it'll stay that high. If it does, that's so crazy. Or if it even goes higher. Yeah, I mean, INnoVation is looking just incredible. Trap has I say it every time because it's true. Each tournament, he's a better iteration of himself.
He really is. Well, this is his 4th consecutive round of 8. He's looking for his 4th consecutive round of 4.
Yep.
But I think INnoVation is peaking again, which is
Yeah.
crazy to say because he's been the best or amongst the best Terrans in the world for, I want to say,
4 times.
8 years.
Yeah.
7 years, 8 years,
But-
right in that range.
But there's periods, I think he's gone through 4 different peaks where he's looked just incredible.
yeah, maybe.
And I think this is the 4th one we're seeing here now with how good he is right now.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I kind of want INnoVation to win this season. I want there to be that kind of up in the air question because, you know, when people are like, oh, maybe Maru's the GOAT, and then it's like, you know, the INnoVation fans annoyingly in the background, they're like, hey,
Yeah.
don't forget INnoVation. What you did.
Remember us?
Yeah. But he looks good enough to possibly win this season as well. But getting past Trap that's a tough one. This guy is really, really strong. He's just such a solid Protoss in this matchup. I think he's been a slightly better iteration of stats in this matchup for almost probably a year now.
Well, he seems like he can play the passive game and the active game.
Yeah,
Let's also keep
yeah.
in mind that there is this Stalker Blink War Prism meta. I want to see if Trap has his own take on that.
Yeah, is he gonna be busting that out? I don't think that build suits him as much, even though he can play aggressive.
Part of me also wonders how much of the build that Dare used was a reaction to how Parting's games went.
Probably a lot.
You know, I feel like it's a lot, but I don't want to just doom him to the order in which the games had to be played. And
That's a
you
good
know,
point.
there's always the possibility that it's like, no, man.
But
He's like, I invented that, okay?
Yeah, when Parting beats Maru with it, though, that has to influence things. It has to.
Yeah. It probably raises a lot of eyebrows for Protoss players.
Even if you already plan to do it, you're like probably more confident
Yeah.
then, right?
All right, game 1 of Never a Dream starts now. This is Trap versus INnoVation.
전투 준비 완료. 진에어 그레인위치 트랩 조성. 카이지 게이밍 이노베이션 이신영.
All right, double gas right off the bat here for INnoVation. Just going to be taking up immediately. Trap normal scout timing. See, looks like even though they're even overall, within Legacy of the Void, Trap has performed a bit better against INnoVation. Of course, a big bunch of INnoVation's peak was pre-Legacy as well.
Yeah, well, INnoVation has been a player who has lasted through the ages, which is really saying a lot. You know, we've had periods where, you know, just so many different times in StarCraft 2 where players have come and gone, you know, and I mean, this, you know, people still talk about MVP and ST or DRG, but INnoVation's kind of just been through every part of StarCraft 2.
Pretty much.
And
Pretty
always
since
been-
the Kespa switchover, he's been
Yeah.
around and on top. And that was early on, right?
And he seems to be close to becoming at the very, very, very top of the pile once again. If things
Yeah.
keep going the way this season looks.
No, he's played fantastically. That makes it quite exciting. We'll see what INnoVation's going to be up to here, right? Because he did do the double gas. Oh my gosh. Isn't this interesting? 2 barracks
Yeah.
on 1 base.
So he's going to power on 1 base. This has become less and less popular in StarCraft 2 as years have gone on. It seems like the game is one that really forces you into, you know, playing into 2 and most often 3 base games. And so whenever you see this style of play come up in sort of a reversal of the meta, I'm always very excited.
Yeah.
Especially if someone like INnoVation's doing it, because and then I think, oh, are we going to go in the opposite direction in the overall meta?
Yeah, it seems like that could be the case, right? Like maybe this is an answer to how many people are just going Blink straight up. Now this
Yeah.
is a different brand of Blink, I think, because it's trap, right? Like we don't see Adepts are running around doing anything.
There's
we see
a
a very quick
Sentry.
Sentry. Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, we've been casting StarCraft 2 for as long as there's been any casts of any beta. And, you know, one of the things we talked about in the very, very early days of StarCraft 2 was that everybody starts out one-basing in RTS metas. When it first comes out, everybody's rushing each other or trying to hold off a one-base rush. And eventually, you get to the players that are smart enough to kind of put pressure on and expand. And then eventually, and this is what's happened a lot in Legacy and in parts of Heart of the Swarm, people always knew how to take a third base
Yeah.
and defend it.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything. But we're finally at the point in time where that's become so cemented that we have people that want to power back into some one-base play
Sure.
because people have stretched out too far
Yeah.
into
yeah.
that.
And that's
This
the
is
natural rotation of things.
Yeah, we saw this happen in StarCraft 1 where suddenly people were going back to one-base play in certain builds, and it's like, oh, that's crazy. Does that work? It's like, yeah, sometimes people are too greedy. And so this is what we get. And in this case, here we have a build that looked pretty middle of the road for Protoss and is now going to be in an unusually defensive position, trying to hold off a push against two tanks, Marines, SCVs.
Dude, Blink
while
is
Blink
not
is
done.
it's not even done.
This is crazy. He's going to get the Cybernetics core first, so no more Stalkers.
Yeah.
And now no more Blink and no more Gateway.
And INnoVation may just kill here. Now there's
looks
an
like it.
Immortal coming, right? But I mean, it seems like the Marines could just get in the front. There's no
Yeah.
War Prism out, right?
And Immortal does not stop this.
No.
My God, look at that. The bunker's about to be up.
And so, wait, what? Did he cancel on the Robo and then?
Oh, he's making a prism? And
Okay.
then he just canceled
Oh,
it?
I'm sorry,
okay.
the Immortal popped at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was weird.
I thought, what? You know, why would he ever cancel anything in a rush like this? Even an observer.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It's like, let that finish, you know? If it's built for that long.
I tell you, he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
He's
his
just as
game's already
dead as
over.
dead can be. Oh, my God. The nail in the coffin right there.
Okay, I got a lot to say about this, but let's go ahead and let this pan out first.
Well, it's already panned out, my friend.
And, oh, there's Blink is done.
Yeah, 3 Stalkers. Let's
This
see what they can
Immortal's
do.
so sad that he can't blink. He's like, well, I'll just wait for you guys to come save me. You guys will blink down there and save me, right?
It's going to be waiting a
Hello?
while. My God. Crazy. Look at that. Moves it forward. Nothing comes out of here alive.
Okay.
Wow.
GG. All right, you know, we're seeing the meta take a lot of heavy developments here in Season 1 of GSL Code S. I want to talk about this because we had this in, you know, Brood War's been out for a little bit longer than twice the time that StarCraft 2's been out, but we've had periods where builds go back where, you know, these powerful one-basing pressure builds that used to, you know, they started out in the game working really well, and then eventually people hold them off, and it's like, don't do that, okay? Because they're just going to defend it. But, you know, as people get more macro-oriented and tech-oriented and trying to get these really special timing attacks they set up later on, suddenly these thug builds come back in.
Thug builds.
These brass knuckle builds come back.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what are you doing? And then, you know, the guy's getting his face blown up. He goes, you don't even play the game right. And it's like, too late, man. Too late, dude. I'm already here.
Yeah.
Your
yeah.
Immortal's not even out yet. What are you doing? I'm just making Stalkers in a Sentry. How are you going to stop 2 tanks and bunkers and Marines?
Yeah.
And this is where you got to respect that. Game 2 on Obsidian. Let's see what else INnoVation has.
전투 준비 완료.
And I can't believe it's on Obsidian.
Yeah, that's really
Tasteless.
exciting.
지네어 그레인위즈 트랩 조성. 카이지 게이밍 이노베이션
So-
20년.
Kind of expand on what I was saying earlier. Protoss can hold off that attack, just not with the opening that Protoss did. You do an opening like that, it's just greedy enough that, you know, you'll die, or
Sure.
or you need to just change the order of what you're making to at least handle it. And that build, it wasn't. It might have ended up developing into the same thing that Partying was trying to do. I don't know. Trap might have had his own cool little take on it. Like maybe he sends that sentry he made out with it and does some force field on the ramp at some point in time and kills the bunker there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's very unique to see that INnoVation comes out here and instead of trying to, make 3 barracks before his 3rd CC in his main to deal with that, he says, no, there's a rush that kills this. I don't even have to play the game the Protoss wants to play. I've actually taken the game.
Oh, totally.
And made him play by my rules, which is
seemed
very
like
cool.
a counter to Quick Blink.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like that, and especially when it was such a defensive version of that with the sentry and everything. It's like very well done by INnoVation to choose the build. Now, we should talk about this map for a moment. This is our new map, Obsidian. This is the first time it hasn't been vetoed in GSL, so this is the first time we're seeing a game on it. It is a 4-player map, which you basically never see anything but 2-player maps in GSL or in anywhere.
StarCraft 2.
Yeah, in StarCraft 2 in general. So a 4-player map definitely adds some things to it, like you don't know where your opponent begins. The map is much bigger, more expansions. This map is gigantic. It's just huge. Look how far apart they are. It was crazy watching the probe scout because it took so long to get there. Also, I want to say that Trap went for cross-spawn scout and actually found INnoVation. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and I know since we basically never get to cast 4-player maps anymore, cross-spawn scout is a thing in 4-player maps. Oh! Oh, never mind. I was about to make a pinball joke, and then he's like, I'm not even stuck in here.
Oh, and then he just surrounds
It's
the
like, I don't
Reaper.
care. Yeah.
Okay,
He's
cool.
like, I meant to do that. I was going to lure him inside my base.
That's
and
neat.
Trap him with my probes.
I'm down with that. That's really funny that did not
Well,
line up.
it looked like it was going to come, and then the pathing moved it off of it. Right, guys? We're all laughing about it, like, aren't we?
You just made me feel like a real dork, too.
You saw it too, right?
That's funny. All right, so big map. Normally when we get giant maps like this, TVP, it has kind of funny games, especially cross spawns.
Yeah.
First off, obviously it's a map that you're more likely to see a hidden base on. But also the travel distance for Terran is so long that we generally... Oh wait, we saw one game on here, a mech game from TY, right? Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
Mech game against Protoss. Anyways, the travel distance is just so long that generally by the time you can get there, as Terran, they've had like an additional couple warping rounds, right? Which makes a gigantic difference. So your sharp attacks are not anywhere near as sharp on this map. So it's a little bit hard for the game to end earlier on. You kind of have to grind this one out.
It's hard to finish him on this map. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. I was going to say, this might get caught, but it looks like it checked for the drop, and the Stalkers pulled away a little bit too soon.
And by the way, this right here, double forge and third base for Trap, so he's playing very, very greedily. Looks like a more standard build from INnoVation.
2 forges is a great idea on a map that can make for probably some of the longest StarCraft 2 games imaginable. I'm still liking the whole, like, people finding stuff that's not that funny, but, like, they really kind of get it because they play the game. Where it's like, watch, let's do another one. You ready?
Yeah.
I mean, some people would probably say Immortals are pretty good units.
That's so bad.
They're all nodding their heads. That's because it's a really good unit.
Yeah.
I know, because I get it.
It's a gamer thing. Non-gamers wouldn't understand.
It's definitely a thing that non-gamers just wouldn't get, would they?
Yeah. Totally.
Oh. I hope that pylon never gets unpowered. Because it's like that's so many gateways, it's all this stuff.
Now that's funny. Wouldn't want that.
It's like, it's just one of those things
We're
where
all nerds.
it cracks me up when I just see people like really into stuff laughing about something that like I don't get. They're like, well, everybody knows that like Ripple's not going to be that strong in the future. When they're talking about cryptocurrency and people go, and I like don't get it. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's funny to you.
Yeah. It's especially funny with that stupid pylon because yeah, if that gets unpowered, we're all like, oh damn.
Yeah. Everybody's like nodding at each other, like showing only their top teeth. Like
that was a big moment, yeah. God, it's so funny.
So Terran's going to be the first to try to attack in here. I can't emphasize the danger if this doesn't work because even though it's a wide open area, it's hard to get away if they can blink under it.
It's hard to imagine it actually working, right?
Don't feel like it would, but
it's so hard to get over with an attack like this and make it work because you've gone so far. Like, look how many units are here for Protoss.
oh
See?
no. See?
It's like you get there and they have a whole nother round more than they would on any other map.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that people underestimate what a difference that is.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, 2-3 units will change a battle. Now let's look at these situations where you have 8 gates. Maybe you have an extra robo unit even in some of them, right? Or on the other side, right? If you're walking across a map with a Colossus-based army, well, I guess you won't have a robo get it over there, but you have the warp and mechanic. So for Protoss, this doesn't matter as much on the big maps. You can reinforce right away, but yeah, it makes a huge difference. You can see like that first little push on a small map. You know, he gets there and you have way less units and he might whittle some things down and get out. Here he lost everything and didn't get anything done.
Yeah, and particularly in the matchup PvT where there is, I think it's fair to say, a little bit of ambiguity on whose job it is to really end the game. You know, it can make for really long games. It's hard to incentivize you to really attack here. Uh-oh.
Well, these are going to be some good mines, maybe. Oh, good splitting there from Trap. A lot of mines out.
Okay, a War Prism heading in towards the Terran's base. This seems like it's going to be a pretty harass-heavy game. I would love to see this just go on for a super long period of time, especially with how short our first best of 5 was.
Well, I think it is going to. You'd have to definitely make a big misstep to die this early on. Oh, this is pretty annoying. This is where Terran's on the ladder scan to try to get the Observer.
Yeah.
And Protoss is on the ladder because they're not that good. The Observer gets got.
Oh, man.
Oh, the double turret has to turn around.
Yep, looks like it can drop over here, though.
All right.
There's actually a lot you have to defend from air here, to be frank.
Yeah. Well, it's really funny because you got the ugliest depot wall anyone ever made right there. What's it do against a prison? Nothing. Keeps those 4 Zealots out, though, doesn't it? All right, the upgrades we can see pretty far ahead for our Protoss player. Getting a second robo right now. Definitely something you should be doing. Just keep your upgrades flowing. Continue that tech up. Continue expanding.
And Protoss is very close to maxing out here. Now, again, even as you max out, like, do you attack? Where do you attack?
Well, I think if you have this army that we're looking at, yeah, you attack. Like, if you can, get across the map and do something
being
big.
this low down, but I almost wonder if, like, you want to, like, expand even more and make cannons and stuff, and...
Yeah, I think you definitely want to do things like that. To play a really big macro game, I think that you should have a good amount of Stag D, a ton of splash damage, basically.
Yeah.
But, like, if you look at the army that Trap is almost maxed out with, it's very gateway heavy. There's a lot of Stalkers and a lot of Zealots in it. That is a huge amount of his supply, right? And so an army like that, it doesn't actually continue to scale throughout the game. Like, as Terran maxes out, their army's going to be a little bit better. You want to add in more splash damage sources, right? So I feel like it's an army you want to do something with, whether it's a full-on attack or sending Zealots around the map really consistently, things like that.
Protoss forgot armor.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So I'll probably end up getting that later on, but that's a little bit unfortunate. Upgrades. In a game that should be this long and dramatic are pretty important.
Goes into Plasma. It's a good way to maximize forge usage. That's a good long game maneuver,
yeah, when you have 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, so after that, what you'll do is you get +3 armor and +2 plasma.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you get 3/3, then you're going to be down 1 upgrade.
Yeah.
Collectively.
Protoss continuing to grow here. Now, I think, you know, although both these races, you know, on smaller maps, it's like kind of each one can expand and it's fine. It seems like Terran still has this problem fundamentally where they can't get too far across the map and hold stuff. You know, Protoss can warp in stuff with pylons. They can recall the nexuses. They can get they can get cannons, of course. But Terran, in StarCraft 2 specifically, it's like, well, you can drop, but you got to fly there. You know.
Yeah. You have the planetary, which is a little bit. It kind of works.
Yeah. It's well, it's not nothing, but it does. It can be targeted down and just obliterated.
Now that being said, some players, specifically Maru, but more recently Tasia being added to that, have been pretty good at mass expanding. So I think it is doable. It's just a little bit more complicated than doing it as Protoss. A little bit of micro going on. Some good EMPs go off, bruising some of these stalkers. Nothing too big yet. Both sides maxed out.
There could be an opening here on the center right. By the way, if this Protoss attack works, it's going to be very hard for Terran to ever be able to get back out on the map. Now, although Terran isn't being killed by this, Protoss is not being contested as far as expansions go. Oh my god!
Yeah, ridiculously good EMP. Nice zoning disruptor there, though. I feel like it's time to add some Stargates in, to be honest. Like, even if you're not ready to use them quite yet, I don't see, like, a reason for him necessarily to get slow Stargate units on such a big map right now. But I feel like this is the type of situation where you have so many nexuses, so many upgrades, so much money and army and everything. It's good to have that ready.
So there's going to be a drop coming in over here. Now, he can't warp in with this drop because he's maxed out. It's one of the funny things when you hit the max is you actually don't get the opportunity to then just spam out Zealots wherever you feel.
Yeah.
And Terran's decided to back. Oh, he's going to get one in here. I'm sorry, guys. One DT. All right.
He accidentally lost his Zealot in his main
Don't blame
army.
me too hard, guys. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, it is funny, though, isn't it? Like, sometimes you actually do want to stay below max as Protoss.
Yeah.
For, you know, defensive warp-ins and offensive warp-ins. All right, get some DTs out there. So he's being a little bit annoying. Those don't necessarily have to do a lot of damage, but it seems like they are.
Well, it's going to spend scans, and it draws their attention away. And it looks like we're going to have a push over here. And Terran is leaving! Oh, my God, they were there just a moment ago.
Yeah.
Oh, get a shot of the fight, please. Yep, so you can just kind of target down planetaries.
Oh, you can't even come up here. Boop. Good EMPs, but against that many disruptors, that little choke is not doable. That was a really good set of moves from Trap right in a row. And INnoVation, it feels like he's uncomfortable in this situation. He needs to be doing something. He's just kind of like walking back and forth in his own territory, yet missing every attack that's happening.
Yeah, the idea is there for him, you know, trying to be everywhere to defend, but
this is like one of those video games where you infiltrate the base by sneaking around people because you see how they're walking.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. It's like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whose footprints are these? And then,
yeah.
no.
Oh my God. Okay, well this game is actually just going to end now.
All right. Looks like your thug builds won't work on this map, INnoVation.
Yeah, no, he keeps his medevacs alive, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a broken robot this game. Not to feed into that INnoVation stereotype, but like... How's it feel, nerds? Taste has got you.
Oh. Yeah, this is over. GG. Trap.
All right.
He could bench press the whole map.
Yeah, he certainly was that game. Okay, tied up 1-1. I mean, I'm glad to see games on Obsidian, but that was, I don't know, it didn't feel very good for INnoVation there at any point. So, our next map is the one that gives us all the epic games. Eternal Empire. Or EE, for short.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. That map is exceptional in that we probably won't have a game that looks like that again. Again, a 4-player map, a huge map. I have wondered what a TVP would look like if we went back onto a giant 4-player map like that. And I actually think that, although INnoVation made some mistakes, that seems like Terran can't get too spread out on a big map like that. And
I think you could be more spread out. I think that his first attack was so poor, and he lost.
Yeah.
He loses like over 20 supply up at the top, doing absolutely nothing. I mean, it takes so long to go across the map. It did nothing. It did 0. And then he was just expanding more slowly. He wasn't teching particularly quick. He just kind of made an army and walked it around.
It was very strange, the first push out.
Yeah.
And there wasn't
It's like he
any-
didn't practice the map at all. And he was just like, you know what?
Well, sometimes players actually do that. I don't know if we mentioned this at times, but we've talked to pros that come in here and say, I only practiced 4 out of the 5 maps. I've heard pros say I've only practiced the first 3. Or the last 3. It's very weird how people choose what to prioritize. Sometimes they have an all-in they're going to do on one map, so that's,
Takes a lot
a very
of practice
small
out.
chunk of time to prep, and then they really want to pour everything into a different map, and maybe INnoVation has maybe that's what he's got in mind here. Maybe he thinks it's going to be too much work to
Better prep time to get ready for other things. That definitely
Yeah.
can be the case.
Maybe.
Just play your
I don't
normal build and be like, I don't know. Could win with a normal build here. It's possible.
So one of our players has requested a break. We will honor that, and when they're ready, we'll be going into this next game.
Wouldn't it be cool if we didn't honor? We just started the game
Yeah.
and get back there.
Like, they're walking to the bathroom out this way, and I'm like, hey,
get back,
get
in
back
your
over
seat.
there. And he's like,
He's probes mining on the big screen. We're like, you're disqualified. You know where he started. It's a 2-player map.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be hopping into this game shortly, but it's good to see this will not be a 3-0, thank God. I don't know who to say as far as who wins this, just looking at the 2 games. I think that, game 1, INnoVation prepped very well for any kind of Stalker Blinkish opening. Game 2, Trap, very commanding, but I don't think that's the way INnoVation played in game 2. Can't play like that on other maps and probably won't, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I do think we haven't actually gotten any real information about the 2 yet. An
Yeah.
all-in and then a 4-player map where INnoVation just seemed not ready to play a 4-player map. It's kind of like, whatever,
Yeah.
I'm ready for the series to start now. We're 1-1. It's a best of 3 from here, and we get to see who's going to play better on the more normal stage.
And this map makes for some of our best games, too. Now, let's talk about that quick push that we saw from INnoVation. Is it possible that we see that again, or something similar to that, where you're basically one basing and attacking really quickly? Because all the Protosses seem to be opening up with a Stalker.
Yeah.
Blink,
Okay.
kind of expand, tech up, and then get ready for the Warp Prism and the Stalkers to come out.
While it's possible to see it again, not on this next map. Eternal Empire, the shortest distance to their base, is that downhill, uphill on the small ramp because of the rocks. That's an area where Force Field will destroy you, right? So that is an area. This is not a map where we're going to see that build from INnoVation, basically, is what I'm saying.
But any other type of early aggression, something that comes in there and just basically stops the Protoss before they even get to try to do what they want to do.
It's definitely possible, right? We can see things like the build Tasia did, for instance. Just proxy all your buildings out there and get aggressive. That is something we can see.
Because we basically have 2 Terran approaches here, right? We have the Cure approach in this matchup, which is be way, way, way ready for the attack as it comes in. And then, you'll be ahead enough. You get your third up, you're safe. You're going to push out. You're going to punish them because they don't have enough of the right tech in the late game. And then we have the opposite of that, which is just do something insane and punish them.
Yeah. I think it does become a bit map dependent, like I mentioned.
Sure.
Eternal Empire, I'm expecting a long, epic game here because that's every single game on this map. And it's hard to kill your opponent early on. It's very easy to get your third base up here and defend it. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm expecting what that last game could have been, That last game, it's like, well, it's this
You're
new 4-player
expecting what
map.
that last game could have been, yeah.
Yes, because the last game could have been an epic macro game. Here, I think we actually will get one. And then as far as that type of build we saw from INnoVation, maybe on Simulacrum, I think that would be more doable there. If he wants to do some sort of a crazy rushing play.
Sure. Well, it looks like the break time is up. And now we will go into Game 3. The winner of this takes the lead in this best of 5 in a fight to get that final slot in the top 4 of the GSL Code S.
전투 준비 완료. 시니어 그린위치 트랩 조성호 카이지 게이밍 인노베이션 이신영.
All right, well, okay, we got it on camera now. Well, we are seeing Trap, and we talked about this with Deer and parting a little bit. Is there going to be another type of play besides the Stalker play? And I was talking a lot about INnoVation on our little break there. I guess actually, I should have been thinking about Trap here as well. He's going to open up with a proxied pylon just outside of the scouting path.
What do you think this is going to be? Another gate?
It is, yeah.
Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can't even imagine what else it would be. But this is...
Well, this is awesome.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
This is really cool to see because we were talking... Now, hold on. This isn't spotted at all, right? It's just...
Oh, this is hilarious is what this is.
Oh!
Oh, my God. Well...
I can't believe it. He just knows to check.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do from here?
I feel like Protoss is in very bad shape if this is spotted.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can just do, like, a macro build from your high ground. If they are going to keep it up, make a bunker on top of your ramp.
Right.
You're 100% break-proof. There's just nothing they can really do.
Yeah, the first Stalker's coming here. We have an Adept being made that will be shaded across the map as well.
Yeah.
Now there's a second hidden pylon here, which I assume is going to be made, or Stargate will be made there.
Yes, yes.
Unless there's some really cool robo play I don't
Oh, that would be crazy
see,
if
but
there was a
maybe,
robo-play.
I'd welcome it if we had it.
I think if it was a robo-play, you'd actually build it a lot closer because there's no question that you're at least having control. You've seen the command center. You see him making a bunker, right? So you have control of the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah.
I like this in a couple ways, though, and don't forget he made an Adept, so you can do this little move where you keep shading up and then using the Stalkers from low ground to hit. So you can harass the depot a little bit at least.
Now, seeing the probe over there,
God, that's big.
does that is that enough of a?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's okay. So he scouts that too. So this is like, oh man,
Trap has fish lips.
Trap. Yeah. He just puckered his lips in kind of a.
That was
Oh,
the,
man,
oh God,
Yeah.
SOS did not do me right with this build.
I mean, this is this is the worst case scenario, right? You've practiced a pretty cheesy build in the middle of a best of 5 against a macro Terran, and he's spotted everything.
Yeah, he's smashing. He's like killing probes and scouting every single thing that you're doing. INnoVation is not really slowed down. Like he had to build a bunker and the command center on high ground. That's the only thing that has actually slowed him here.
Yeah,
And that's really not that big a deal.
right. And I mean, the reason why these builds tend to be strong for Protoss is that if they don't see them, you just get to take control of the game, and they have literally seconds to respond to all of your surprise moves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this too ambitious to push down here onto the low ground? We have Marines, but we also have an Oracle coming up here. But I guess with the Cyclone, didn't target the Oracle, which is actually, I think actually Trav can push him back up here, right?
Yeah, I guess he can push him up the ramp for a second, but as soon as there's another lock on, right, it doesn't take that long. Look at that, he's going to pick off the Stalker, or just barely not. Just barely not.
But there's more Stalkers coming here, man. I actually think he can push this back onto the high ground. Nice tag over there, too. So you can at least try to preempt the movement of the Cyclone.
Hey, this was well done by Trav, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going to snipe the tank.
Oh, how funny. Yeah, that's just enough.
But he's going to lose the Stalkers due to that.
INnoVation was just incredible. Just superb control.
Oh my God, Trap, though, pulling back that Oracle at 1 hit point.
I gotta say, this is some of the best control I've seen, like ever, from Trap here. He's doing so well. He's driven that back. Now there's tanks coming. Stim is actually a ways off, so the infantry is still actually pretty flimsy here.
Yeah, Trap has really made this into something for himself. Definitely got to give him some credit there.
Oh, this is not a good move.
No. He's getting a little bit ahead of himself now. He's seen Parting and SOS do things like that. He's like, you know what? I can do things like that too. No, you can't, Trap. Stay in your lane, Trap. Go build probes.
So Blink's almost done. I'm sorry, there's no Robo at all, right? Is he just going to
no,
get
there's
three?
no Robo. There's no
Three.
Robo.
Okay, so third Nexus. Terran's decided to push. Now, these are funny armies because it's Blink but no Warp Prism. Marines but no Stim yet, although Stim is going to be finishing kind of soon here.
Wait, he only has one finished gate right now? Is this correct?
Two
finished
Two
gates,
finished
okay.
gates.
Still,
So-
it's not. Oh, okay, he has a decent amount of stalkers. Actually, he can hold that. But he needs to go out and start slowing it down right now.
Oh, that's a cool little blink through there. But again, you don't have that many blinks, and so the push is going to be able to set up, which means bunkers will be able to set up. There's not enough stalkers in the front that Terran has to respect this. There is a stasis ward.
Oh my God!
And
And he
it's-
actually didn't lure him in the right direction for that stasis ward play.
Okay,
Just gonna target down the tanks. The probe's being pulled as well.
okay, into the stasis ward. Oh my God, trap. But is this? Well, I guess if it's just Marine, stalkers kind of always win, you know.
Yeah,
yeah,
They'll whittle him down over time.
If you have medevacs, tanks, bunkers there, it's a different story. But stalkers are basically against just Marines, even with combat shields, a little bit better.
Well, very quick move there from INnoVation, pulling them back with Stim.
But I think this is an overextension by INnoVation, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you're just gonna chip away at these Marines.
He's seeing what he can get done, but I think what he can get done
Now,
is over.
when INnoVation turns around, then I think Trap starts to pursue, right?
Yeah. You would think so, but he did bring up another tank, so that's a little bit sneaky. He doesn't see that other tank right now. Kind of
But,
sets up an entrenched position here.
Until you've got medevacs out, there's no way to get him back home. This is the funny thing about Terran pushes without medevacs, is like, you're kind of stranded. And Blink is an incredibly abusive form of mobility. Now, the third is being taken, so this is one opportunity for maybe INnoVation to come in here and shut this down. It's also low on HP, so their stalkers have to almost come in here and tank so the Nexus isn't killed off. But I mean, this has basically worked, right? I mean, the tank is killed off.
You know, this has done a couple things pretty well, though. And in fact, he's getting a bunch of probes suddenly. Look at that, 15 probes going down while he saves his Nexus.
Yeah.
He loses his economy.
Make it 20. And what's funny is that it looked like Trap had basically handled that perfectly until the last 5 seconds. That Terran had units there. And then that was the moment that now INnoVation has double the workers.
Wow.
Which is insane.
And that makes a huge difference, especially on this side of the matchup, right?
And Terran has mules. So yeah, I mean,
we laugh, but there's some truth to that. Like
Yeah.
normally in an even game, Protoss will have more workers than Terran, right?
It's
Between
true.
Chrono Boost and Mules, that's just kind of how it normally works out in the timing of Nexus and everything. But here, Trap has no economy, no upgrades other than Blink, no units other than Stalkers, in this one Oracle holding on. This is looking very rough for Trap right now.
INnoVation's going to push out again. I'm a little bit worried if this push doesn't do well for INnoVation. I mean, granted, his army's better, but still, there's all these little finesse moves that Protoss can do, like we're seeing right here, that can whittle that army down.
I love him bringing in that Oracle as well after the Marines die. But look at this, the stimmed chase comes down. The Marauders picking off a few extra Stalkers before they can get away.
And again, with Blink available, oh, that didn't do anything. That was actually pretty poor.
Yeah.
So, Zealots are coming. We do have sentries as well. Terran, I believe, has his sights set on the third.
Yeah. I think if he just, with these reinforcements, I can't imagine that third being held, right? Look at the production tabs. It really tells a story.
Now, there's also the possibility that with this with this proxy pylon over at 12 o'clock, he could try to warp in some Zealots or something to hit the third base.
Yeah.
We'll see if that's actually going to, oh, well, never mind.
Well, there they are.
He does that and it's shut down.
Not doing so well.
Okay, well, this is going to make the possible push from Terran even stronger, since those Zealots basically did 0 damage and you get 0 value out of them.
Well, Trap is trying every trick in the book right now to stall this out, to have some time to rebuild what he's lost. But INnoVation, he's got better upgrades, better tech, larger army, larger economy. Is there anything this man doesn't have?
Terran comes down again. And the stalker attack here, I don't think this is going to cut it, because this means there's just nothing of substance to defend back at home. And frankly, even a few Marines and Widow Mines and everything else, I think can start to pick this off. Yeah, I think Terran wins. GG.
Look at that. All right.
Great play there from INnoVation. Now, I think this all goes down to the scouting of INnoVation at the start. Good sense.
Yeah. I love that he actually checked with the SCV at the natural. It's not really a reason not to. Your SCV's down there a second or two before you're going to build it. May as well check.
Also something that you never really see Terrans do on that map,
That's very true.
So that really shows his instinct is there. And Trap, you know, he won on that map, Obsidian, but that's, I mean, that map is now out of the pool. You're going to have to win on the maps that are more standard for GSL, more standard for StarCraft 2 right now.
Yeah, well, Simulacrum is about as vanilla as you can really get.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what he can do there. But right now, I guess none of the games have been too normal, right? A lot of the Cure games were kind of like, okay, this fits into a certain mold. It's like a certain thing that we're used to looking at. Game 1 was an INnoVation all-in. Game 2 was the 4-player map that INnoVation seemed like a broken robot on. And Game 3 was INnoVation scouting every cheesy thing Trap wanted to do. So we still don't have just kind of the straight-up build versus straight-up build, let's see who's better type thing.
Yeah, we don't have, for instance, a Stalker build versus whatever INnoVation thinks can defend that, or just anything within the PvT standard games we'd cast. So maybe we'll have that in Game 4, which we'll get to after this short break.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
라벨은 까서버리라고 했는데 우리 아빠는 맨날 까먹어요.
라벨을 떼지 않아도 오키. 라벨을 없앤 아이시스 8.0 에코. 따는 순간 분리배출까지. 지구에게 오키, 모두에게 에코. 라벨이 없는 아이시스 8.0 에코.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
취했나?
청정제주 숙취 비법과 탄산의 만남. 숙취엔 가스강.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
라벨 떼고 버려야 되는 건 알죠. 근데 귀찮아서 잘 안 해요.
라벨을 떼지 않아도 오키. 라벨을 없앤 아이시스 8.0 에코. 따는 순간 분리배출까지. 지구에게 오키, 모두에게 에코. 라벨이 없는 아이시스 8.0 에코.
트렌드 조성호 이노베이션 이신영 아프리카 TV 메가 스튜디오 라이브 2020 GSL 시즌 1 코드 S 쇼다운.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go into Game 4 and see if we're going to have a normal game or if it's going to continue on the trend of unusual PBTs here. So far, it is INnoVation with a 2-1 lead here against Trap. I think Trap could have probably succeeded in that game had INnoVation not scouted and then defended perfectly.
Yeah, well, if you start that command center on low ground, suddenly Trap is at an advantage, like automatically.
Right.
So, you know, he took some big risks and INnoVation found them, so he got punished, rightfully so. Let's see, though. Simulacrum, pretty normal map. Pretty vanilla.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Trap vs. INnoVation, Game 4 starts now.
전투 준비 완료. 지네어 그레인윙즈 트랩 조성호. 카이지 게이밍 이노베이션 이신영.
All right, excited to see what these guys are going to pull out here. Trap's life on the line right now.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Trap appears so far to, well, obviously he's not sending any probes at it or procs or anything. I think Trap is probably still confident he can beat INnoVation in a more straight-up game. Let's see if Trap goes back into the Stalker play that's so trendy right now.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that's where he falls back into, if he plays a more normal game. It looks like a very macro-focused game here. Just gone for that Cybernex core before Nexus. It's been very popular lately. INnoVation scouting around for any proxies. Does not trust him.
Okay. So far, very standard here.
By the way, I want to mention that it's a big investment, like in an intelligent way, for INnoVation to scout for proxies in the way he's done, like at his natural. Because as soon as he does that, it becomes off bounds to make buildings in his natural and things like that.
Yeah.
In future matches.
That's very true.
Like, for instance, let's say it's him versus Parting in the finals. Parting will watch these VODs and be like, he scouts behind his natural. I'm not going to put anything there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny how each game in StarCraft 2 can stack and factor into the next game.
Yeah.
To where it's like a game that happens in the round of 8 can impact the finals.
Well, you're definitely building your resume, you're building your image, you know, all these things should come into account for sure. And it's hilarious because there's been times in the past where they have not. And I think for some players, they focus more on the race they're playing. Some players focus more on their opponent that they're playing. I remember sometimes even in the past with like real professional teams out here, there were games where we knew exactly what the player was going to do because they did it every game. And then the player that he was against just did not prepare, even though he had like a coach. And it's like, okay, how's this coach making money here? I guess it's good those teams disbanded at least.
Yeah, there was definitely some of that. Where I'm like, I don't know what this guy does. Does he just drive the van? I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta have some sort of studying going on.
So there's a hidden dark shrine. Now, although we've had hidden buildings before with Trap, this is a very different idea. And there's going to be a robo coming up here, so it looks like this will set up for a DT drop. Now, this is kind of exciting. Let's keep in mind that the prep required for a Blink Stalker attack is vastly different than the prep required for a DT attack here.
Yeah, that is quite true. You don't want any turrets for the Blink Stalker attack.
Yeah,
it's going to be a huge waste.
It's not a worthy investment.
No.
So
you might pull scans for both, though, which is important to mention.
That's very true.
But when you have the Prism, you can get DTs away. You can make them waste scans occasionally.
That's very true. And the two Widow Mines are being jolted across the map. So what is actually back at home to defend here for Trap?
For Trap? Not much. He does not have many units.
Trap's got an attack inbound, but the Widow Mine drop's going to start first. The DTs are being made.
He can't have more than a Stalker or two, right?
Oh, look at that. He's got a... Oh, gosh. The probe just is here to scout.
The probe moves, so we know he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple Stalkers, and that's it.
Probably would have been better to not move that even.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe he didn't see it, but...
The third Stalker comes up.
Now, where's the War Prism?
Oh my god, does he not have energy?
Okay, the DTs are on the loose. There's 50 energy, so this one will be scanned and killed.
Well, this is a lot of lost mining time. You're having to use scans. He's actually losing a decent amount of SCVs here as well.
I think there's 2 more DTs that have been made, yeah, and there's a War Prism coming.
Yeah.
And so he actually wants the next scan to be here at the natural.
Yeah, Raven on the way, but this still has a lot of potential for damage.
And this is as the tanks are leaving. Oh my god.
Because he's getting depots. These DTs are doing so much.
Good pickup, good pickup. This is doing so much damage.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, nice pickup. Keep in mind, you could always warp in more units to attack. If you do enough damage, you could try to snowball it. More gateways coming down here. Forge and Robotic Support Bay on the way. The DT is actually going to be able to get away, I think.
He has actually done so much with this. This has been very, very successful.
Trap really knows how to plan.
Wow,
I really like this.
Look at how much
9
he's killed.
SCVs. That's actually much more than I thought.
Yeah. And now he's actually just, I mean, he's got a good amount of gateways. He's making some Archons.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, he can disable. He tries to pick it up. Disable. Oh.
Which one do you want to kill? Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Oh, he's all in. This is actually really smart. The fact that he got those shields to 0.
I feel like he maybe should have disabled the Prism or something there, but okay.
No,
anyways,
I
pushing
totally
forward.
agree.
I think he had the energy for sure, but anyways. Oh, the blink up. He's trying to pick up the
Minimax can pick up 2.
Oh, that was a nice pickup.
What's up, son?
INnoVation giving himself a chance to win this game in the series right now.
This is very decisive play from INnoVation. Only one pylon over here. Artos.
Those Archons gaining their shields back a little bit. Let's see if he can break through.
Yeah, no, they're paperweights now.
Oh my god, everything's paperweights.
Gets the tank. Nicely done. DT coming in here.
Oh my god, and now we have an Immortal out as well. Trap with some nice juggle micro in there.
How are these Archons still alive?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god. The bunker finishes.
Oh, the bunker is just brutal.
Is he going to get that pylon? Yeah, that's it. Unpowering the Robo.
Oh my god, and the 3 shield batteries as well. Probes coming out to fight right now. The Archon's pushing forward. The Archon's doing some pretty massive damage. Also flanking with that Immortal. Oh my god, this micro from Trap just crazy.
This is insane. He's actually going to hold it. I can't believe my eyes.
That was superb. Wow.
Wow, and not only that, he shuts down the Raven, the medevac. Nothing gets to retreat. Terran, naked defense at home.
Dude, if you kill those 2 Archons, that was 0% to hold, right?
I think so, yeah.
Huh.
What's funny is he like shot one, then the other, then the other.
Yeah, no, it was
really weird.
It was strange.
I'm like, you could just like let the computer auto attack and you'd win this, or at least get one of them, which is better than none.
A Trap going for a counterattack right now. Has his Archons in his prism here. Blinks forward as well.
I'm just not sure if Terran can hold this.
Well, he's certainly taking some damage.
If he gets one warp in right after he kills a tank.
Yeah, you would think so.
I guess he just
Look
goes
at
for
that.
the infantry.
Yeah, the Archon's on top of the
Go for the
Marines.
soft spot here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the tank can wait. And then another warp in, and that should be game, I do believe.
Yeah, no way he's going to be able to make enough units to hold this off. He has a single Banshee. GG. And we're going to go to game 5. Sick.
Trap's so happy.
Well, that was a quality hold because he had a great opener, but then INnoVation really put the screws to him there with that boys pull.
Well, that was I think INnoVation actually could have won the game. It was a very odd moment, especially for INnoVation of all players. You might be right that he could have had the disable on the War Prism. I think he probably had enough energy, but also the Archons were
I'm
just
sure
there.
he had enough.
You could have killed one. 1000% you kill one.
Well, if you disable, you kill both.
Yeah, but even without that, there was enough time to kill one.
That is true. If he targets, he kills one. So, yeah, I think INnoVation made one small misplay there with an attack that could have won the game. Okay, we're going to Zen to figure this one out. Who do you think takes it after all these games?
I don't know, man. I actually do not know.
I'm leaning slightly INnoVation.
Okay, I'm leaning slightly Trap then. Ooh, it's on Artosis.
Oh.
Guys, it's time to start the final game and get that final player in the final 4.
전투 준비 완료.
Final.
진에어 그레닝즈 트랩 조성호 카이지 게이밍 이노베이션 이신영
Look at this. Look at the barracks.
Just well hidden. Yeah,
Macarex.
a little bit. Hiding that racks nearby to scare his opponent. Will Trap be scared? Probably a little bit.
2 gases.
Yeah, anytime you hide a barracks, you do have to get the second gas, I think, to sell it.
You just make the CC, you're like, what are you doing? This is literally the worst build in the world.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Kills you with just rushing with tier 1 units. You're like,
He
yeah.
sends in 2 adepts. You're like, oh, no, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. Nerds are giggling with cheese between their teeth.
Oh, my.
Factory to finish up the wall.
Yeah, traps him in here.
Yeah. Whoa, and his ID. Now, I still want to see what kind of game Trap is going to want to play.
All right, so now he knows basically where that's at.
So second Reaper coming. And I've liked, to be honest, even the games that Trap lost, I liked his planning for the series a lot.
Really?
And
Okay.
INnoVation too. I love best of 5 StarCraft 2 with players that are really, really good because it's so fun to see how they approach everything.
Yeah, I've liked INnoVation's side of it really well. I think that last game was kind of a cool plan from Trap. Yeah, I guess actually Trap's planning overall has been really good, even though some of it hasn't worked. INnoVation game 2, I don't even know. But I feel like overall he's done a very good job. Like, remember the last time that he did something kind of like this, where he went for the push in game 1, right? There's no way for INnoVation to know right now, or Trap to know right now, if there is a command center, right?
That's very true.
So it could be something like that. Now, this is not the best map for it, I think, right? You kind of have to walk around a little bit.
I like the Hellion being forced to hop back. Oh, but the Reapers do get up into the main. Not bad. More kills coming down.
Yeah, this is actually a really solid kill count. All right, loses a Hellion and a Reaper for 4 probes. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that pays for itself already.
Yeah, Robo on the way right now for Trap. INnoVation going ahead and taking his natural. A couple Widow Mines sent out for a drop.
Now, let's see how many probes this is also going to kill. Because these sequences of attacks all have to lead up to eventually you slowing them down enough to where you can do more damage later on. And it's going to come right through the top of the main here. Trap knows this is a possibility, but did he set up correctly to prevent it?
Well, he's got a couple Stalkers at the side, or one, I guess, just sitting there waiting for that Reaper to come back.
Even then, some players have been very good at pulling probes correctly to basically make this... well, hold on. Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't
just not...
see it. Oh, my God. That was huge. 12 kills and he gets out. Not happy.
Yeah, he was...
Not fish lips mad, but not happy.
Well, he did this angry smile when the drop first happened, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're smiling, but you're actually like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, my
It's like, well,
God.
I guess that's how I don't make 4 round of 4s in a row.
Yep. Oh, but the Banshee. The Banshee.
Gets away. Oh.
Gets a no, indeed. Ooh, Unbro.
Screw it,
No,
man.
this one in time
Even
he's
2
like-
more kills is the same thing as a million more kills, Stasis.
Whoop. Going
Gets
to the main.
one.
Go, go, go. Don't
Bros
stop.
it, but like the probes kill it because it's not even
Don't
close
stop
to
till
recharge.
you've killed all of his probes. Now, Raven's coming. Protoss, having been tripped up here by losing so many workers, doesn't have a very strong army inbound yet, but it looks like he might try to blink in with Stalkers.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to find any real damage here.
Curses.
He wants to get something done. He knows that he's behind. All right, Immortal is on Widow Mine duty, as are these 2 Stalkers.
Again, that Widow Mine's still in the game. I think he's going to back away. He can keep that for as long as he wants for now. There's no air unit to shoot that down. I like the lowering of the depots here. Like, maybe you'll want to attack my bunker now that this isn't in the way.
Yeah. Okay, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
83-77, not bad. Oh. This is great. This is great.
2
Wow.
more kills.
Very nice. So what's he
Dude.
killed? 21 probes, is
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
21 or 23, I can't remember, but that is a lot of damage done thus far. Trap, he has his 3rd. He's going to be finishing up.
Oh, another good catch if he can get that. INnoVation now going to set that 3rd up. We'll have the Protoss 4th coming up here soon. Protoss always seems to be a few steps ahead in taking bases. We have Psystorm coming here as well. Let's see if there's any attack that comes here from INnoVation before Psystorm. Remember that there's been a lot of workers killed off here. Trap does have a way inferior army, at least in supply, but Psystorm is a pretty big equalizer for that, especially when you have infantry like Marines and Stim, and then you just storm it and they melt.
If you can take one really good fight, it can kind of reset the damage that INnoVation did, you know? So we'll see if he can do that. It can be a little bit tricky though too. Let's not forget there is a Raven out, and a lot of times we're seeing that Prism full of High Templars disabled. So that can really swing the fight to Terran very, very quickly.
Okay, Terran now with some muscle here, beginning the push. We've seen a lot of little harasses and damage dealt, all to build up to the moment with the possibility of a Terran having a strong enough push. And you can see here, Stim's finishing, but it's finishing the same time as Storm. The Storms have to be very good. And this is a perfect area to do it in, but immediate pull away. He didn't lose a single unit to that first Storm.
Oh,
the second one though. Second though, a different story for sure.
Yeah, very nice Storm. Looks like he's going to send this around for some harassment. Loses a chunk of his Marines, but it's not the end of the world.
Oh my gosh. That is completely worth it. Yeah. Kill off the Raven.
Has to be happy.
But is he going to be out of position now? 1-1 just finishes, by the way. Archon's being made as Storm is starting to be drained from some of these Templars. Now, this is a funny moment. It almost looks like Protoss is going to push through the lower part of those stairs up into the army. But this means that the Terran can actually just do a massive drop here into the main, and he's going to have to recall back in there.
That is a massive drop. He's got to get up there immediately. It looks like he does not have recall ready.
Yeah,
warps another round of Zealots. Let's not forget, though, there's not a lot of room here for INnoVation. Once Trap jumps on him, if he has enough, he can get rid of it. Oh my god, a huge attack from INnoVation into the third base.
INnoVation just plowing through that expansion, but the main attack has been held. However, he can now, INnoVation can take out this Nexus.
Oh, he's using the recall. And you know what? Maybe he can kill off this army, but he got that Nexus.
Can Protoss counterattack? I actually don't think he can.
45 probes died.
My god.
God. Still
And
got
just
45.
to ensure that he can't be counterattacked right away, INnoVation tries to set up for another drop. He sees there's defense there that's adequate enough to hold this. So I think Terran just wants to go back and continue to reproduce. Overall supply 92 to 139.
And let's not forget where the upgrades are at, okay? Trap is trying desperately to get +1 armor to go with this +1 attack, whereas INnoVation's 2-2 is over halfway done. He's also getting into enhanced shockwaves with ghosts, adding on more production, getting a 4th command center. It's looking like a pretty dominating position for INnoVation right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like this is INnoVation's game to lose now, right? I mean, he's handled everything so well so far.
Just picking at the edges.
Yeah, anything he can take out, he will.
Yeah, look at those two armies. Definitely looks better for INnoVation. But, you know, you have that splash damage. Between the Storms and the Disruptors,
I think there's
should
a
be able
chance
to hold on.
Trap tries to do an Archon drop and then warp at a bunch of Zealots.
Yeah, that can be a good move.
But is that enough to really turn everything around here? I mean, Archons are annoying, but with this many barracks, I think the production can actually handle it. He's going to try to drop on top.
9 SCVs, not bad. That was pretty quick.
A split second there. 2-2s, though, 2-2 upgrades are finished.
Oh, the EMP is going to end this Tasteless. He's paying attention elsewhere. No Psy Storms here. Oh, he actually didn't control that. Could have got so many.
Oh, my God. Snipes down the other Disruptor.
Oh, another great EMP goes off as well. INnoVation just so strong on this counterattack. The Prism doing a lot across the map for sure, but it's not game-ending damage. Whereas this looks like it might be.
Yeah, this is too much. And in what was an incredible best of 5, it does appear that INnoVation is going to win this and go on to the Final Four of Season 1 2020 GSL Code S. GG.
All right. INnoVation with a great tournament run so far. Trap, unfortunately for him, will not make his 4th round of 4 in a row. He played well, but not quite well enough here today.
Great series, though. One one-sided series, one real back and forth, and now we have our Final Four.
Yeah, 3 Terrans and a Protoss. It's been a while since we've had a round that looked like that.
It's about time, though.
Oh, yeah.
We needed it.
Absolutely. What was that? What was that? Did he just come over and smile at him and turn
Yeah,
around?
I think he did.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're going to have an interview now with INnoVation. Andy, go ahead and translate this one for us, and then we'll wrap this show up.
All right, we're gonna have an interview with INnoVation, the final player to lock in the round of 4 spot. Congratulations, thank you.
상대 종족전에 강한 선수들 간의 대결이어서
And both players have a very high win rate with the TVP and the PVT win rate. And how do you feel after the win?
쉽게 이길 줄 알았는데
Well, I thought it was gonna be easier,
제 생각처럼 안 풀려가지고.
but things didn't really work out the way I intended to.
솔직히 질 줄 알았는데 올라가서 좀 얼떨떨한 거.
But honestly, I thought I would lose, but I did win, so I'm kind of happy.
자, 이번 시즌 정말 다채로운 모습 보여주고
This season, you're showing a lot of various strategies. From the first set, it was clearly different. You went for the one-base marine tank all-in.
그 판짜기는 어떻게 하시나요?
So what was the reasons behind the strategy?
성우가 재선이랑 한 경기를 봤는데
I mean, I saw Trap playing against Bunny,
더블이라고 생각하고 플레이를 하는 것 같아가지고.
and I thought he was playing
이용해가지고 그냥
knowing that it was a double, so that's why I used it.
전멸 추적자 시작을 많이 하니까
Recently we see a lot of the products going for the Blink Stalkers. So what about that?
네, 그런 것도 맞고 그냥 상대가 좀 더블을 생각할 것 같아서.
Well, I thought my opponent might anticipate a double, so that's why I went for the one base all in.
이터널 엠파이어에서도 전진 관문부터
In the
우선까지
Eternal
정말
Empire,
더 찾아내는 그런 예리한
You
모습을
found
보여주셨습니다.
traps,
그 세트에서 딱
proxy
감이
Stargate, and put a proxy
생각도 안 하고 있었는데
gateway.
가니까 계속 있더라고요. 그래가지고 원래 준비한 빌드가 있는데
Well, there was a build that I prepared for,
상대방이 좀 먼저 선수를 쳐가지고.
but then
다행히
it was
빠지고
Trap who
이게
took the initiative, so I did end up winning the game.
80%가 훌쩍 넘는 프로토스전 승률
Your TVP win rate is like 84% right now, and now you acquired the win today against Trap and move on to the round of 4. And your opponent in the round of 4 will be Cure. So you probably wanted the TVP, but now you have to go TVT. How's Cure as your opponent?
잘하고 있기도 하고.
Well, he's such a stellar player,
태태전을 지금 안 한 지 좀 오래돼가지고.
and I haven't prepared for TVT for a while,
어려운 상대라고
so he's
생각은
probably
하는데
a difficult player to go up against.
그냥 4강 일단 목표 달성해가지고.
But I'm really happy that I fulfilled my objective of moving on to the round of 4. Well, you're showing such excellent skills right now in the GSL. So we all have high hopes in you, INnoVation, and any resolution for the upcoming TVT matchup.
네, 태태전 뭐 모든 선수가 싫어하긴.
I'm sure all the players hate
노기도
the race versus race matchup TVT.
할것 같다고 생각을 하고.
I think Cure's gonna have a hard time playing against me as well.
성주도 잡고 올라왔으니까.
And since
잡고
I
올라왔으니까.
defeated Maru, hopefully I can defeat Cure as well. Once again, congratulations on the win, INnoVation, and we'll see you in the round of 4. Thank you.
I'm happy with this Final Four. And this was a great day of games.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting round of 4 and finals. This is kind of crazy. TY Party, Cure INnoVation. That gives us a lot of possible finals, and I think they're all good, especially because TY truly is the master of Terran versus Terran.
Yeah.
So if he beats Parting, woo! We are going to have a sick TVT finals.
But, you know, if Parting could beat Morrow, I think Parting can beat TY. And
yeah. Parting could win this whole season.
All he has to do is PVT his way through this, which makes prep pretty more doable, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Pretty more doable.
Pretty more doable.
I guess you probably couldn't say it, Tases, but I guess you can.
You can think it.
People can figure out what you mean when you say that. Yeah, this is going to be great. So we have TY versus Parting on Wednesday evening, and then Cure versus INnoVation on Saturday afternoon.
All right. Looking forward to seeing this. What do you think? What's your gut here?
Ooh, I don't know with TY versus Parting. I think INnoVation beats Cure, but
God, that's
really,
a hard one
it's
too.
really tough to call. I'll tell you what, I'm rooting for Parting to win the whole thing.
Yeah, that would be quite a story.
I think it's really fun when you have 3 of one race and then the lone wolf actually comes out on top.
I don't mind INnoVation taking number 4 either, though. That would be a very fun thing.
But if Cure wins as well,
Well, it's his
How cool
first
is
one,
that?
and he's worked really hard for a really long time.
Yeah.
But that's no fun.
But then if TY wins it, it's like he casts the whole tournament and wins it. It's like, okay.
Cure, yeah.
You
Cure
know,
is,
you and I are going to have a lot of insecurity, after he does that.
yeah.
We're going to be really kind of like, oh, that's cool, I'm like, we're kind of
Like,
funny in our
I'm
cast.
Terran Patch.
Are you kind of funny? Like, oh, we are in the cast. He's like, no, I don't need to be. We're like, oh, well.
And then we find out he's actually much funnier.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's just better than us at everything.
Basically.
So,
no matter who wins, it's pretty cool. And this season's been great.
yeah, it's been very entertaining.
It was way too much off time. Start of this year with StarCraft 2. So it's good. And we have so much more StarCraft 2 still to give you guys. So, of course, join us on Wednesday evening and Saturday afternoon. And we're going to find out who's in our finals.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And we don't know what time the finals will be. That'll be announced probably
next
next
show. I would imagine.
Saturday.
We normally announce
maybe
around
next
then.
Wednesday. But wherever it is, you can't come anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You'll at least know the time, though.
Yeah.
It'll probably be one of our 2 studios. So, yeah. Anyways, this has been a fantastic day of games. The Final 4 and final or top 8. It's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I had fun. The round of 4 was very thrilling. Very weird how they both had kind of like these crazy 3-0s and then nice game 5s.
Yeah, they both mirror each other in
Yeah,
that
they
way.
really did. They really did.
But the amount of upsets, especially in day 1, that's really exciting. That's very cool to see. Anyways, guys, that's all the time we have. We love you. Stay safe. Hopefully we can have you in our studio again one day. Maybe this year, maybe next year. We don't know. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. Bye-bye.